Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a review for exam 1 EOT 3303. So we have three chapters, chapters 1, 3, 23, and 24. So starting with the chapter 1, basically chapter 1 starts with just introduction to botany and why plants are important, why we study plants. And we have just general information about plant biology, plant morphology, plant anatomy, and some important products plants actually provide to our lives. And also phytoremediation, like using plants, cleaning environment, and also some information about GMO. So there is this clock here you see in this guide here on the right side, which basically is a 24-hour clock, which starts with basically altogether 4.5 billion years, which is the origin of Earth. Okay, so and if you start going from 0 point to the clockwise, you see origin of life is at 3.5 billion point, and then that's where we start seeing first prokaryotes and oldest known fossil records that that's 3.5 billion years. 3.4 billion years we start seeing autotrophs. 2.1 billion years we start seeing eukaryotes after oxygen, free oxygen available 2 billion years point, right? First plants we see is 408 million years ago, which is plants invading the lands, and the vascular plants start evolving from that point. Flowering plants is actually 145 million years ago. First flowering plants show up. This was actually much before even dinosaurs disappeared, which was 65 million years ago, dinosaurs era. And these are some major points in this clock. First human we see around 2 million years ago, and 10,000 years ago we start seeing domestication of plants and animals, starting the agriculture by human. So this is an important clock, so make sure that you study this. Plant cells is the next chapter, which is chapter 3. Basically, plant cell, there are three major group of cells in plants: parenchyma cells, collenchyma cells, sclerenchyma cells, and also there are water conducting cells and sugar conducting cells. The typical plant cells is very similar to animal cell, but on top of that there is cell wall, there is chloroplast, and there is a central vacuole. These are some three major organelles that plants have, but animals don't have. The cell theory is basically all organisms made of one or more than one cells. Cells are basic units of life, and all cells come from pre-existing cells. This is considered cell theory, starting from the Robert Hooke 1665 invention of this microscope, and Schleiden and Schwann, basically 1838. One plant biologist, one animal biologist, they both came up with this cell theory. In chapter 23, we have plant tissues. This is the next level. Basically, we have three groups of plant tissues. They are dermal, vascular, and ground plant tissues. Dermal is the epidermis, like outermost layers. Vascular is the transport, and ground is the support in between tissues. Also, there is this meristematic tissues, which are the stem cells of plants. They are made of protoderm, ground meristem, procambium. Protoderm becomes epidermis, ground meristem become cortex, procambium become primary phloem, primary xylem, and primary phloem. There is also vascular cambium, which can make secondary xylem and secondary phloem in some select plants. So in this picture here, we also see a shoot apical meristem, which is in the shoot apex, leaf primordia, and the other three parts of these tissue systems. Plants have indeterminate growth. And they can be annuals up to grow 1 year, biennials 2 years, and perennials 3 to thousands years that their life cycle might take. So chapter 3 is about basically plant tissues. Chapter 23. Chapter 24 is about root system, which basically primary root, lateral root, prop root, tap root, Casparian strips, pericycle. These are all part of types of morphology and anatomy of the roots. Primary root is the major root. There are, as you know, two classes of flowering plants, monocots and dicots. In monocots, we see fibrous root system. In dicots, we see a tap root, which is very unique. There are also adventitious roots. They can be like prop root, like we see in corn plants, or aerial roots, like we see in Spanish moss. They are just forms, they form on the stem, very different than regular root system. Apoplast is anything outside the plasma membrane. There are some fungi like mycorrhizae that can help plants actually to reach out to the more phosphorus, and there are some bacteria that can help certain plants like legume plants to reach more nitrogen sources. So make sure to review these and also do your reading on these 4 chapters, and happy studying. If you haven't, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please press the button right below your screen and subscribe. See you next time.